It is Taylor Bridges here, back with another review. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, comment, subscribe. Come check me out, y'all. This video, and then I have one more coming up right after it. And after these two, I'm officially caught up for the week. Y'all know I've been out. It's been so exhausting. So much has been going on, but you know, we caught up. We catching up. Better late than never. This is Life After Lockup, Season 4, Episode 47, Roses and Thorns. Sarah and Sean. Sarah understands why Sean is upset about the whole Anthony, the baby daddy debacle, and her communicating with him. But she's surprised he thought she was cheating, even though her behavior was exhibiting that of a cheater. And Sarah's mom is being defensive about Sean being upset. Like, first of all, ma'am, Sean provides wholly for Sarah. And he's committed to her. And I think Sarah messed up big time in more than one way. So the mom could try to downplay it all she wants. Sarah's behavior was untrustworthy and it was wrong. Once Sarah makes it back home, her and Sean speak about it. And poor Sean, he's just hurt. And damn you, Sarah, for getting me to say poor Sean. Almost making me forget how much of a menace Sean is. Like, Sarah, you played that horribly. You played this whole situation horribly. So now you're going to have to work, do the work and be patient to gain Sean's trust back. Cameron and Aries. Cameron has gotten a job as a customer service rep, so good for him. Aries is pregnant. What is it with these women getting pregnant by men soon after they've gotten out of prison? Like, to me, it's selfish. I get it, Aries. You want a family with Cameron. But why rush to bring a new child in the world when y'all don't even have y'all stuff together? Is the AC unit replaced yet? How's Lena adjusted to Cameron being there? Has Cameron been with his job long enough for the insurance to kick in, his health benefits? Has he received a first check? Like, there are so many things for them to handle before bringing a whole new life into the world. That's just irresponsible and stupid to me. What is wrong with people? Both Cameron and Aries' families are coming into town. Cameron is on the defense about proving himself to her family. And I think he was being so difficult and he wasn't communicating effectively. Relax. Aries simply values her relationship with her dad, and she wants to ensure y'all's introduction is done properly and adequately. Why be so defensive about that? He was so hot-headed. Then in the next scene, he's saying things, but like, he's saying these things to Aries and apologizing, I guess that's what you call it, but he's still not seeing the full picture. Aries is absolutely correct. Y'all did not have an ordinary love story. If Aries wants things handled a certain way when her dad comes, Cameron should be more than happy to accommodate that. He says he's not used to answering anyone, and even in prison, he didn't answer to anyone. And we know that's a lie. You can't even take one step forward without answering to anyone. And furthermore, you better get used to answering somebody because you need a job. And you don't get to be hot-headed every time you have conflict with the ideas of your superior in the workplace. So grow up, Cameron. They tell Lena about their new sibling. Lena is absolutely beautiful. She's excited about the baby, but she feels like she's under a lot of pressure. And I thought she articulated herself very well. I was in awe of all of her black girl magic. Her bantu knots, I think they were, if I'm not mistaken. Her pretty skin. She's just so cute. Loved her personality. She says she hopes the baby doesn't have the same personality as Cameron, and I don't blame her. One of Cameron is more than enough. Aries and whoever is helping Aries raise Lena has done an amazing job. She definitely gives, my opinion, raised by grandma vibes. I'm raised by my grandmother. So that's what she reminds me of. She was raised by her grandma. Amber and Puppy. Amber and her mom's sobriety date is the same since they got locked up together, and they have been sober ever since. That's cool. It's like a built-in accountability partner. Certainly a journey that they can bond throughout. Amber tells her mom and dad about the restaurant idea and asks for a $50,000 loan. Her dad says he doesn't like the idea, and her mom thinks it's adding a bit too much on her plate right now. And I agree. I do think it's a great idea, but I also think Amber underestimates the work required to open and run a new restaurant. I think she needs to think on it much longer. Amber and Puppy meet up at the gym, and really Puppy is just on some misery loves company. Now that her relationship is in turmoil, it's over, and she's lonely, she's trying to convince Amber that her relationship is just as bad, so she could be single too. And I think, Puppy, you're immature and you're selfish for that. Then Puppy and I don't even like Amber. Mind you, I don't like Amber. But then Puppy tries to make Amber feel bad for not letting Puppy sleep on her couch. What part of that is not solely Amber's place does Puppy not get? What part of Amber moved into TC's place, therefore she does not run anything in there, does Puppy not get? What part of Puppy being unreliable, extremely dependent, unstable, immature, and a whole liability does Puppy not get? What is Puppy not getting? What is not clicking? Instead of being accountable for the privileges and bridges you burnt, Puppy, you're putting it on Amber. Puppy is a 40-something-year-old woman, and she behaves like a teenager. I don't see how grown adults can put up with her like in a long-term friendship. She's a complete liability, and it's exhausting trying to raise a 40-year-old. I don't blame Amber for getting upset with Puppy. Puppy picked the fight. She picked a fight with Amber because she's miserable and she's unhappy, and she relies on Amber to help her through times like this. But Amber can't rely on Puppy the same way. So Puppy just needs to chill out and grow up and just handle her stuff. Amber has her own stuff going on. Amber's mom, then calls back about the restaurant idea and the loan, and then she makes a comment about like Amber's health, mental health not being in the right place, and I think that's the case. I do think Amber's mental is a little off based on what she's describing, like what she's been going through ever since she had that procedure. I think it's valid for an investor or a loaner to take into consideration the mental well-being of the person they're investing in. So I totally understand why Amber not being well mentally is relevant. Amber wants to stay busy to distract herself from everything else, and I don't think that's really promising to an investor, though. You know what I mean? Like that's giving busy work. Like that gives hobby. That gives like temporary, and like that gives like the minute, you know, you don't need the distraction anymore, you're gonna give up on this. Operating off of emotions in business, meaning you just want something to distract you. You want something to keep your mind off this, something to keep your mind off that. I think it's a recipe for disaster. Amber's mom and the dad also bring up Amber's excessive drinking and how that environment isn't best for her. And I actually wholeheartedly agree. The vibe at a restaurant bar is just tempting. It's chaotic. It's fast paced. There will be long hours consistently. I just don't think it's a good industry for Amber to go in right now. I do think that there's some type of business venture that's a much better fit for Amber that she should enjoy. Like what the daddy say, a flower shop. You know what I mean? I think that's just not a good idea. I just think there's so many other endeavors. Lindsay and Blaine. Lindsay found a job at a rehab as a clinical assistant. She's 14 months sober, and I'm liking that. I can't stand Lindsay, but I will say I'm proud of her for that. She's not doing everything just totally wrong, you know? She seems to be taking her freedom quite seriously. Lindsay's frustrated with Blaine's lack of ambition, but Blaine has been who he is since before they got together. So I'm not feeling bad for that. Blaine seems like an underachiever, just off rip, but I don't even know him. So Lindsay, be quiet. Blaine is taking Lindsay and Miley Grace paintballing, and I thought that was fun, but it's just not a date I'd want you surprising me at, because I would want to be dressed properly from head to toe. All the way. I want to be prepared. Miley Grace wants to go home immediately. She has an attitude as soon as they get there, and I'm just wondering, like, what is going on? Even after they, like, left paintballing and they drop her off, she has an attitude and just being a bratty preteen. Then Lindsay starts becoming edgy and tense because of how Molly Grace is acting. Then she just breaks down saying no one is helping her. No one ever helps her. She has to do everything by herself, as if she wasn't locked up in prison, literally taking the help of everybody who would answer the phone. And as if she didn't just drop her teenage daughter off at the grandma's house, who's the teenager's primary parent, but you don't get any help. You're not even raising a teenage daughter full time. As if Blaine wasn't the same prison bae you chose over Deontay. Like, all of this stuff is everybody else's fault. It's everyone else is doing, as if you aren't like super responsible for your decisions. Lindsay needs to quit. I don't know why people in jail or prison, they often come out with this chip on their shoulder, like people owe them something. You ain't ever had no help. Girl, please. You've literally probably exhausted all the help you can get at this point. So now, yeah, you probably only can rely on yourself. Taylor and Chance. Chance still hasn't told Taylor he hasn't found a job yet. Y'all have a whole newborn and other young kids, dude. But Taylor is insistent on looking through Chance's phone, and she finds nothing wrong with it. And this is why Taylor lives the quality of life she does. She operates in immaturity and chaos. What's the point of invading his privacy, going through his phone, just to get upset, complain, and nag while you're holding your newborn? What's the point when you're just going to stay where you're at? Chance tells Taylor to figure out a way to pay the bills for herself. And it was mean to say, but Taylor is so childish and whiny. She is such a crybaby and a nagger. Who wants to be with somebody like that? Why are you obsessed with this every whereabout? And also, I'm glad he said that too, because that should be a good wake-up call for Taylor. That's how easy it is for Chance. Like, literally, figure out a way to pay your bills, I'm out. That's how easy it is for him. Like, please keep that in mind, Taylor. She relies on Chance, to validate her and make her feel secure, when Taylor needs to provide the security for herself. Taylor, you're raising children. Like, you have babies with you. You have daughters looking up to you. Like, Taylor's self-esteem is like pathetic to me. I don't feel sorry for Taylor. She's like extremely like sad and pathetic. Like, no hope. Monique and Derek. Derek finally lands in town for Monique, and Monique is there to pick him up. He's driving. While Monique is driving, he's trying to get her to smell the bouquet of flowers while she's driving. That's blocking her whole view. Derek is ready to move and turn up, knowing doggone well that Monique wants Derek all to herself, cooped up in the house for the duration of the trip. They do get to her place, emphasis on the her place, and Derek asks, where's the rest of the stuff at? I saw a couch, a dining room table, heck, before that I saw a roof. When they got to the house that Monique provided for herself. Where's Derek's roof? Oh, right. He doesn't have one. He doesn't have the rest of the stuff because there's no stuff to begin with. He's in somebody else's place. So he wouldn't understand. All that goes into furnishing a brand new place. Because Monique's restroom, guest bathroom is larger than the sale that Derek spent. So he would know nothing about decorating his own place. Derek's phone is going off and he's not answering it. So that's unnerving to Monique. And this entitlement to invade other people's privacy because you're insecure is just unacceptable. Monique is not leaving Derek off of some text messages in his phone. She's just not. So you're just invading his privacy. You're invading his privacy, which is making him lose trust for you, and you upsetting yourself. Only for what? So you're chipping away at the relationship and your security for what? Just to stay in a relationship that has chipped trust? All right. Monique says she found a way to check Derek's call log and there's a lot of numbers she didn't recognize. And how does she not see how controlling that is? She don't recognize the calls. Maybe because it's his phone. Calls could be from anybody. Job prospects, bill collectors, family friends, old friends, anyone. And furthermore, It doesn't matter who's calling him because it's none of Monique's business since it's Derek's phone. I don't know, it's giving self-hate to me. Like, why is she so comfortable having these conversations with Derek and doing all of this? Like, this man hasn't even taken off his shoes from flying all day. And just like Sarah, Monique, damn you for making me even stick up for Derek. And I'm not saying Derek is innocent, but this is just getting so repetitive with Monique. She has been behaving this way since we first met her. How doesn't she see that this is exhausting, unsustainable behavior? If you feel the need to monitor your partner's call log and whereabouts constantly, that's not a relationship. That's surveillance. Monique probably can't even keep a job she probably needs a job that has the flexibility for her to stay on the phone with Derek all day. Like, it's really sad. Then she tells him to go sleep in the basement. Like, what kind of trip was Monique trying to have? Mind you, she had access to this call log information before Derek even landed. And the fact that she thought on his first date down, it'd be wise to confront him about some phone calls in his phone, and then they would talk about it, he would apologize on bended knee, and they would go back to normal, shows Monique's addiction to chaos and arguing. She doesn't want a peaceful relationship. She just doesn't. But that's where we're done. We tackled all the couples. I know it was quick. I thank you for tuning in. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I really, really appreciate it. Please, any feedback, anything on the couples, I'm so greatly appreciative for all y'all's attention and y'all's comments and the support. Thank you so much. I'll see y'all in the next video.